Good morning, hockey fans. This is Stephen Heisler with HeisHockey.com, Victoria's Hockey Company, and the Junior Hockey Discussion Group on Facebook. You are watching the Junior Hockey Morning Show. We are on the World Sports Broadcasting Network, WSBN.TV, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, hopefully in your living room. Today is Wednesday, February 1st. I noticed I didn't fix that there, right? It says January 32nd. That date does not exist on the calendar, not whatsoever. I'm a little under the weather today. Wife and I were at Disney World last night until the wee hours of the morning to celebrate her 15th year of working at Disney. That actually occurred last year, but no party because COVID. So here we are. Had to do it in 2023. Great party, great event. Disney does not hold back the punches when it comes to celebrating their employees, their partners, their cast members. And last night was no exception. We'll go back and do her 20th year, hopefully in 4 years if there's no more COVID or whatever else, what other pandemic flies upon us. Boston is at Toronto tonight. The result of that game may determine my mood for tomorrow. Yeah, good stuff. No games in the USHL yesterday or today. On Monday, Maine visited the Northeast Generals in the North American Hockey League, lost 1-4. And tonight, Amarillo is at Oklahoma. We are hoping that Oklahoma does a good job with Amarillo. Other North American Hockey League news, the Janesville Jets announced that forward Jimmy Doyle has committed to play Division I hockey at Bentley University in the Atlantic Hockey. Doyle is a 20-year-old in his fourth and final season playing junior hockey in the NAHL. The 6'2", 190-pounder, native from Plainfield, Illinois, is currently leading the Jets in scoring with 34 points, 19 goals, 15 assists, and 41 games played today. Today's show topic, I got something in my eyeball, is game officials because they're abused. The training system right now is a mess. If I were king of the game, not the king, and could make command decisions, I can't. It's a great concept, though. I'm not even the king of my own house. The dog has that title. If I were king and could make command decisions, there would be a lot less donkeys in the pasture. But to make this whole thing fair, let's stick to structural issues and changes to make the developmental aspect of the game much better. The king of the game was really you. You, who's watching this or listening to this. You combined with your friends, your family, other parents, other players. You are the ones who can make changes to this game. Today's topic is the problem we continue to have with game officials. Let's face it. These folks are every bit as important as the coaches, players, fans, and wallets that fund it all. The problem is there is no other aspect of the game that faces more shortcomings and abuse. We see this every day. As the word respect continues to face serious reduction of relevancy in all aspects of society, game officials from every sport face an onslaught of disrespect at every level and from every direction, from the players, from the parents, from the coaches, from the owners. It's my opinion that the problem can quickly cure itself with a hardline reaction and instant consequences. There's that word again, consequences. That's like the word that I'm gonna go ahead and say this because my daughter is watching this and she hates when I comment about millennials. But these folks have lost their mind. That word consequences is the basis of a lot of problems in our society today. People can't stand the concept of consequences. Maybe the United States Olympic Committee and every other governing body of sports should take immediate corrective action to curb the insanity. Isn't it interesting that police and game officials face the same kind of harassment every day? Why? These are the folks charged with dishing out consequences. But today we're not talking about the police. We're going to talk about our game. Since I have never officiated a game above the mite level, I did ask someone to help me with today's article and this show. Someone that I respect. I call him a close friend. And he brought a lot of these points up. He wishes to remain anonymous because sometimes helping me on this show or in articles could result in a lawsuit. We're very familiar with attorneys lately. I should just put one on file or trade out with some goalie parent that's an attorney, not a goalie parent. They are abused enough. Because of the current regime of overzealous and vindictive leaders of the game, this person's name is being shielded. Vindictive. Politics. That's the root of evil in pretty much every sport. These are a few key reasons and issues that need to be restructuring of the development of the on-ice game officials. The following goes over three key elements that must be addressed. Younger and inexperienced officials not getting games. This may sound weird, but it's true. Think about the scheduler. I'm going to call my top official and look to give him the best games and fill down less phone calls. Doing that, you get less phone calls from upset organization and less work. So I get the rationale. Hey, I'd rather not deal with the problem, so let the more experienced guys get all these games. The young and inexperienced official will usually be timid about staying on a scheduler to get games. After 2 months, they lose interest and move on to something else. This has been a serious factor in the past. It is today. Abuse. Yes, the abuse factor at the youth level is out of control. The control starts at two places: behind the bench and with the organization. Let me ask a question. If a my player goes off sides, does everyone lose their mind and yell at the player? No. When a player misses an empty net, is he yelled at after the game by the fans? No. So why then, when an official misses an offside, do people believe that it's okay to act like the world has ended? Why are you folks going nuts? It doesn't make any sense. You're adults. You're coaches. Coaches need to bench players who disrespect the game and the officials. If the bench is in control, the players will be in control. If the bench hears the coach yelling at the referees and disrespecting the referees, what are the players going to do? Pretty clear, isn't it? Every amateur team should have a crowd monitor that reports to the officials pre and post game, working directly with the local governing body. Their job is to watch the crowd and act as a calming factor. And yes, the organization should send a monitor to away games. Out of control parents can relive the COVID experience and go sit in the car. Maybe then they will realize it's a privilege to play our game and it is meant to be enjoyable for everybody. Dallas fan at Shreveport over the weekend. Crazy lady showing your booty to everybody in the building, causing the police to talk to you. That's the definition of out of control. We need a TV show called Real Hockey Moms. Oh my God, that'd be epic. It'd be better than dance moms, pageant moms, hockey moms. Love them, but holy smokers. Training, perception, and image. Hey, ref, you suck. Where do I sign up for that job? That'd be awesome. Who would want to be a referee if parents, players, and coaches always demean the job? Why do it? Who wants to do it? Who wants to be abused on a regular basis? Who likes that? We need to understand that officials defend the safety of and integrity of the game. That's the idea. Yes, some officials are very bad. But just like police, 98% are hard workers and do a great job. Maybe not great all the time. 2% are going to just not have a clue. Some will have a bad game, but for the most part, they work hard to get it right. I have yet to see a referee get beat on a 2-on-1, fail to back check, or give up a soft goal. I can go and we can debate how we got to this point, but let's work on fixing the issues. This is really good, so pay attention. This coffee break sponsored by Bustelo Coffee Company and my son Tomas. Automatic registration. Any player under the age of 21 who signs up with an organization, Hockey Canada, USA Hockey, whoever else, should be assessed an additional $5 registration fee to be dual registered as a player coach and a player or coach and an on-ice official. We just decreased the officials pool by a few thousand potential officials. That does not make them officials. It only makes them registered. Maybe even include senior adult players with a similar offer. Player coach education. All players, coaches under the age of 21 and in their even age years, so 8 years old, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, must attend a 2-hour educational meeting that includes 30 minutes of on ice every season about officiating and the mechanics of officiating. You're not going to make officials out of all these kids, but at least the kids will know what's going on. They'll know what the official sees and what he doesn't see. It's a great concept. It'll also help the players learn the rules and understand officials better. And just maybe 1 or 2 players from each team start to think this may be a way to stay involved in a game and even advance to higher levels in the world of hockey. If an organization has 20 teams at different levels and just a single player from each team likes officiating, now there is 20 more new officials in a single year for that organization. Mind-boggling. Education. Most officials get registered online and attend online seminars. It's impossible to learn the game without being on the ice. Players have to practice, but officials don't. Why not? Every October, let the local officiating program have developmental games and weekends. Put inexperienced officials on the ice and work to 2 and 3 man systems with a mentor on the ice. Let the official work a period or shift and have a mentor work with each one. After 3 games or practices, you're going to start to see officials develop. How many organizations would give up 1 hour of ice every month to the local officials association for practice? What a concept. 1 hour of classroom and 1 hour of ice once a month would keep the new officials engaged. Organizations should not be rude and try to give these guys 6 a.m. ice slots on a Tuesday. That's not going to work. People have jobs and don't want to get up that early. Or a Saturday, young officials, 6 a.m. on Saturday might as well be an appointment on the moon at 3 a.m. You'll never get them there. Players are getting a minimum of 2 practices for every game. So with the logic in mind, we don't think that 1 officiating class session for every 20 games would help? Of course it would. And we just impacted the games tremendously with the influx of new officials and with a better education program that includes on ice. Evaluations. Use the older retired official as an evaluator. They have the experience, and I'm sure they will take 3 or 4 hours a month to watch and help. Not asking for a lot. A lot of guys are retired. A lot of guys are getting old, especially me. Former coaches can also do that job. Ex-players can do that job. Senior players that are already played junior hockey and maybe a bit of college hockey or pro hockey can do that job. These guys should look for the basics like skating and positioning. Getting the best retired officials to assist in developing officials for the youth level will pay off when they elevate to higher levels of play. Create officiating development committees, not driven by officials, but in conjunction with the officials. If it's that important for a coach to have quality officiating, then have the coaches and hockey administrators be involved. These committees should not be thought of as an us versus them session. It's about elevation and development in every aspect of the game. Right now, it's a war. It's a war. The officials, especially in the North American Hockey League, decide who they like and who they don't like and act accordingly. The kids be damned. What's happening in St. Cloud is a joke. It's a joke. Taking it out on the kids in Wilmer and Alexandria is a joke. You have a problem with an ownership group? Then you should get out of the game if you're an official. Because it's not the kid's fault. But that's how you're acting. It's embarrassing. Recruit officials. Every district or local referee in chief should have a February 10-minute meeting with every midget, junior, and college player in the country. Talk to these guys. Get out from the office. Get out and talk to players. Makes sense. If you hit 1 in 10 or 1 in 20, you hit a home run. But if you sit in your office and not communicate with these kids, it's like going hunting with an empty shotgun. You got to be active. You got to be loaded. You have to be willing to go out and recruit. You know what we should do? Is get Mike Stanaway to do this job. Mike Stanaway from the New York Aviators is easily one of the best recruiters in the country. The guy is tenacious. I guarantee you, USA Hockey, give Mike a commission. Hey, buddy, you get $500 for every new official you get signed up. He'll make $1 million a year. The guy's an animal. Let's get the coaches to help identify and recruit players who wants to advance to higher levels of the game and can make a career in the game as an official. 20 bombs. You guys are still paying to play. Pretty clear. If you're paying to play, you're in the elite level or a lower level 3HL team or a lower level EHL program or playing Junior C in Canada. You're probably not going to be playing in the National Hockey League anytime soon. But you can still get there as a referee. Make an investment. You love the game so much, be a better part of it. Help the game improve. Frankly, the governing body should discuss all opportunities in hockey to this age group. Officiating on and off ice, administration, rink operations. These are all important areas of the game that are suffering. We have a talent pool of people leaving the game very quickly. We got to get it fixed. I know college and pro teams would love to start building relationships with prospective play-by-play guys or sales guys that understand the game. Officials, like players and coaches, need the opportunity to gain experience. Here, listen, parents, listen, kids, listen, coaches. Experience is gained by making mistakes. Let's remember something here. If an official was already really good, if he was really, really good, he would be working at the college and pro levels already. And even at those levels, many still suck. I see mistakes in NHL games. We see mistakes at college games. We see mistakes in the USHL, the OHL, the Western Hockey League. These guys aren't perfect, but guess what? Neither are the players. I have yet to see a player play a perfect game. Let me know if you find one. A perfect game, shift after shift, touch after touch. If everything is perfect, awesome. Goalies get lucky sometimes, and they stop every shot. But how many shots went wide? How many shots cleaned off the bar? A perfect game? Hard to do. So don't expect that from the referees. They're not perfect. They're human. Tommy, what do you think? He nods. He doesn't know what he's nodding about. No. He has no idea. No idea. Great kid. Respects the game. Doesn't know anything about it. It's my fault. He knows cars. He knows cars. All right, folks. Short show today. Tomorrow we do a 10 list. That should be fun. We're going to dig something up. We have an idea. It should be fun. But until then, enjoy your coffee. Have a great day in hockey. That's the perfect closing line.